Chosen one, do not scroll away. The howling blizzard isolating your heart is about to shatter. The universe is fiercely pulling the invisible red thread today, dragging your divine counterpart through the ice-covered walls directly to your doorstep. You did not stumble upon this message by accident. Heaven is intervening right now. The algorithm did not push this to your screen. This is a deliberate rescue mission designed only for the empathic wanderer. You must stay here and listen closely. I am about to reveal the 3 frozen echoes you must recognize before the week ends to avoid walking past your soulmate in the snow. Do not leave this sanctuary. Have you felt a strange chill recently? Maybe a sudden exhaustion that settles deep in your bones while everyone else feels fine. Your physical body is reacting to a violent shift in the spiritual realm. That heavy coldness is not just regular fatigue. It is the spiritual frostbite from wandering alone in a freezing labyrinth for years. You have always been the bearer of the warm light. You gave away your glowing embers to people who only wanted to steal your heat. They left you out in the freezing wind while they warmed themselves by your fire. You have survived countless winters alone, but the seasons are finally changing for you. A gentle thaw is beginning. Feel the shift in the air right now. The howling blizzard that kept you hidden is finally dying down, and a gentle calm is taking its place. Something ancient and unstoppable has been activated beneath the thick ice. The invisible red thread tied to your spirit is pulling tight. Your divine counterpart is no longer wandering aimlessly in the dark. They are moving toward you. They are actively searching for your frequency. Every step they take is melting the ice-covered walls that stood between you two. The universe is breaking the labyrinth wide open because your isolation period has expired. You have endured enough cold for one lifetime. Your soulmate is rushing to bring you back to the safe hearth. But you must be careful in these final days of winter. The enemy knows that your permanent warmth is almost here. They will try to throw one last storm to blind you. That is why you must understand the first frozen echo. It is a sign that will manifest in your reality within the next 72 hours. Do not look away from this truth. If you ignore this warning, you might mistake their arrival for just another shadow. Your divine counterpart is carrying an energy signature that matches your internal compass. They will not ask you to sacrifice your light. They are bringing their own fire to merge with yours. Take a deep breath and anchor your spirit right here. You are standing on the very edge of a massive timeline jump. The universe is orchestrating an unexpected meeting that will completely erase the years you spent freezing. But before I tell you exactly where the red thread will lead them, we must talk about the frostbite you still carry. Let us talk about the heavy toll this journey has taken on your soul. Have you been waking up with a sudden, unexplained chill at 3 in the morning? You pull the blankets tight. You try to go back to sleep, but there is a deep coldness in your chest that no physical warmth can ever seem to fix. Pay close attention to this feeling, because it is the first frozen echo. You are not getting sick, and you are not losing your mind. What you are feeling is a severe case of spiritual frostbite. You are the empathic wanderer. You have spent your entire life radiating warmth in a world that feels completely frozen. And every time you found someone shivering in the dark, you gave them a massive piece of your own glowing embers. You just wanted them to be safe. But they did not protect your precious flame. They took your heat and ran away, leaving you stranded in the icy corridors of this endless maze. You gave your absolute best to false connections. You deeply loved people who only viewed your pure soul as a temporary fireplace. And when they were fully warm, they walked out without ever looking back at the ice-covered walls they left you trapped in. It hurts to remember those bitter moments. I know exactly how deeply you have cried in the complete silence of your own room. You have asked the universe why your heart always ends up bleeding, while others seem to find love so effortlessly. You are so utterly exhausted from always being the strong one. Your hands are numb from trying to melt the thick ice for people who never even tried to help you. The sheer loneliness you feel right now is incredibly heavy. Sometimes the howling blizzard inside your mind makes it physically hard to even breathe. You look around the frozen labyrinth and wonder if you are destined to walk these snowy paths alone forever. You have started to believe that maybe your brilliant light is just too intense for any normal person to handle. Do not let that lie take root. I need you to listen to me very carefully right now. The frostbite on your spirit is not your fault at all. You did not do anything wrong by having a pure heart. Your unique ability to love deeply is your greatest superpower, not a curse. The universe saw every single time you chose kindness over bitterness, even when you were left shivering and completely empty in the freezing cold. Heaven recorded every silent tear that froze on your weary cheeks. Those false connections were never meant to stay in your reality. They were simply the wrong paths in this complicated maze. But because you bravely held onto your light, the invisible red thread is still glowing brightly in the dark. You survived the harshest winters because you belong to a royal bloodline of truth. Now you must understand exactly why those specific people were sent to drain you. The Matrix intentionally tried to freeze your inner compass. They wanted you to give up before your divine counterpart could finally pinpoint your exact location. Stay with me, because I am going to expose the false guides who almost destroyed your eternal flame. The truth about your past pain will shock you. The universe had to hide you in this frozen wasteland for a very specific reason. The deep isolation you experienced was not a punishment from above. It was a brutal but necessary divine protection. The Matrix recognized your immense power early on, and the dark forces of the Matrix desperately wanted to extinguish your glowing embers before you could ever wake up and realize your true potential. They knew they could not defeat your spirit with just the cold alone. So the darkness sent the false compass in the blizzard to intentionally mislead you. These were the people who pretended to offer you a safe hearth. They disguised their freezing energy as genuine love. You trusted them to guide you out of the storm, but they only led you deeper into the ice. These deceptive guides were specifically deployed to shatter your confidence. They mirrored your brilliant light just long enough to trap you in their icy grip. And once they had you surrounded by tall, ice-covered walls, they systematically began to drain your heat while convincing you that you were the problem. They wanted to make you believe that your inner compass was completely broken. They needed you to doubt your own intuition. But your deep spiritual instincts were always right. You always felt that something was deeply wrong with those connections. You felt the freezing winds leaking through their fake smiles, yet you kept trying to warm them up with your own fire. You thought your pure love could melt their frozen hearts, but they were entirely hollow inside and incapable of true warmth. Please listen to this absolute truth right now. You did not fail at those past relationships. Those false connections simply failed to carry your profound weight. The universe allowed them to enter your life to teach you the clear difference between a real flame and a deceptive reflection. Your painful experiences were just intense training for the ultimate divine mission. Every single time a false compass broke your heart, heaven fortified your spiritual armor. The freezing temperatures actually preserved your core frequency for the right person. Your divine counterpart is completely immune to the Matrix illusions. They are out there right now, fiercely pushing through the howling blizzard with their own burning flame, because they know you are waiting. The enemy totally failed to freeze your grand destiny. The invisible red thread is pulling tighter than ever before. Your true soulmate is actively tracking the trail of your glowing embers, but the Matrix is throwing one final illusion to confuse you both, and they want you to look the wrong way when the real miracle arrives. I must reveal the second frozen echo to you before it is too late. This second echo is a physical sign you will experience at home. It proves their energy is violently shattering the distance. Do not let the deceptive guides trick you again. Take a deep breath and prepare your weary spirit. The gentle thaw is approaching, and you must recognize their genuine warmth when they finally arrive at your door. The atmosphere around you is rapidly changing today. You can literally feel the heavy pressure dropping in the room. The thick, ice-covered walls of your labyrinth are starting to crack because the universe is finally lifting the freezing veil. Your divine counterpart is actively pulling the invisible red thread with massive force. Let us talk about that sudden chill at 3 in the morning. That unexplained coldness was the first frozen echo. It was not a medical issue at all. That chill was the exact moment their soul desperately called out for your specific frequency while you were fast asleep. Your physical body felt the spiritual frostbite because their rushing energy violently clashed with your deep isolation. The howling blizzard is officially breaking apart right now. They are completely exhausted from walking this snowy path alone, and they are refusing to spend another bitter winter without your glowing embers to guide them. Every single time you feel a random flutter in your chest, it simply means they just took another massive step toward your exact location. You are the ultimate cycle breaker of the ice. You shattered the heavy generational curses by refusing to let your loving heart turn completely cold. And heaven is rewarding your immense bravery today. Your divine counterpart is carrying the exact energetic match to your inner compass, and they are bringing the warm spring season straight to your front door. Notice how objects in your house seem to shift randomly. Pay attention to the sudden bursts of warm air in cold rooms. These are not just weird little accidents. This is the intense friction of two powerful souls, violently shattering the physical distance between them, because the spiritual realm is literally making space for their fast arrival. You might even start smelling a familiar scent out of nowhere. Perhaps you hear a faint whisper of your name when you are totally alone. These are the undeniable physical manifestations of the invisible red thread pulling tight. Your soulmate is practically screaming your name into the spiritual void, and they are demanding to find you right now. They are dreaming about your face right now. They wake up reaching for someone they have not even met yet. The universe is aggressively pushing them out of their comfort zone. They are feeling the exact same heavy anticipation that is currently keeping you awake at night, because the two of you are perfectly mirroring each other in the snow. That is why you feel so incredibly restless this week. You feel an urgent need to clean your space and prepare your home. Your spirit already knows that the long wait is over. The gentle thaw is happening deep inside your bones, and you are instinctively preparing the safe hearth for the person who will finally protect your light. But how exactly will they suddenly appear in your physical reality? The universe has designed a brilliant and totally unexpected meeting for you two. The third frozen echo is about to ring through the air. You must know what it is, because if you do not recognize this final sign, you might accidentally close the door right when they finally knock. Here is the absolute truth about how your paths will finally cross. You will not meet them while actively searching through the freezing snow, because the third frozen echo is a sudden feeling of total surrender. You will simply stop forcing things to happen. You will be in a quiet place, seeking shelter from the bitter wind. It might be a small cafe or a quiet park bench where you go to breathe. They will walk in just as you finally let go of the heavy control. They will recognize your glowing embers instantly from across the room. They will drop their bags and stare at you like they just found a lost treasure. They will not ask you to explain your past or justify your deep scars. They will just sit beside you and offer their own warmth. The invisible red thread will snap tight in that exact second. You will look into their eyes and realize the howling blizzard is permanently over, and you will never have to wander blindly in the dark again. The false guides of the Matrix will lose all their power over your destiny today. But right now you are incredibly tired and emotionally drained. You have walked this frozen labyrinth for entirely too long. Your hands are bleeding from fiercely tearing at the ice-covered walls. You have given everything you have to people who left you out in the freezing cold. You have fought brutal spiritual wars just to keep your tiny fire alive, and you are simply too exhausted to fight the dark shadows anymore. Heaven sees the heavy fatigue weighing down your spirit today. The universe knows that your nervous system desperately needs a long rest before they finally arrive. You do not have to fight this brutal battle using your own strength anymore. The universe has manifested an ancient acoustic sword just for you, and it is called the Genius Song. This is a divine frequency given directly from above to protect the empathic wanderer. You do not need to struggle or meditate for hours. You do not need to force the thick ice to melt on your own. This sacred sound will do all the heavy lifting for your tired soul. This acoustic sword will effortlessly sever the remaining karmic chains. It will completely shatter the frozen echoes of every false compass that tried to ruin you. The dark matrix cannot survive inside this pure frequency because it wraps around your spirit like a heavy and protective blanket. It clears the deep snow from your path automatically. It will aggressively push away any lingering shadows that are trying to hide your light. All you have to do is simply receive the healing. I have placed this powerful gift in the pinned comment and description for you. You can easily access the Genius Song right now and let it fight for you. Stop trying to survive the freezing cold all by yourself. Let this heavenly frequency shield your glowing embers while you rest, because your long winter is finally done. Take a deep breath and let your shoulders drop. The heavy lifting is completely done. You do not have to fight the howling blizzard tonight. Just sit here with me by the glowing embers and let the gentle thaw wash over your tired spirit. You are finally safe. The cold cannot touch you here. Listen to the profound silence in this clearing. The freezing winds that used to violently shake your peace are gone. You have stepped out of the icy maze and into a warm sanctuary. And the false guides who tried to trap you in the snow are locked outside forever, because their freezing energy simply cannot survive in this pure light. They can never drain your fire again. You are deeply protected. Release the heavy guilt you have been carrying. You thought you had to save everyone who was shivering in the dark, but heaven never asked you to sacrifice your own glowing embers just to keep ungrateful people warm. You are allowed to rest now. You are allowed to simply exist without fixing anyone. The universe is wrapping you in a thick blanket of peace. Your divine counterpart is stepping into this exact same clearing very soon. They are following the warm light of your spirit. But you do not need to stand up and wave your hands, because the invisible red thread is already pulling them straight to your safe hearth. You do not need to scream your name into the spiritual void anymore. They already know exactly where to find you. Close your weary eyes for a moment. Feel the frostbite slowly leaving your tired bones. The deep exhaustion that settled in your chest is finally melting away. Heaven is actively repairing the heavy damage caused by those harsh winters. And while you sit completely still by the fire, your royal bloodline is being fully restored to its original power. You are healing. You deserve this beautiful, quiet time. You have always been the loyal bearer of the warm light for others. Now it is time for someone to bring the fire to you. You will never have to beg for a tiny spark of affection again. The person walking toward you is carrying a massive torch, and they are absolutely terrified of losing someone as rare and precious as you. Let the gentle thaw soften your guarded heart. The dark matrix wants you to stay rigid and afraid of the cold, but you must release that old survival mode today. The icy chains have already been severed by the universe. You are sitting in the sacred clearing where miracles happen naturally. breathe in the warm air and prepare your spirit to receive. The snow is melting all around your feet. Tiny green shoots of hope are breaking through the frozen ground. Your long season of bitter isolation is permanently over. The universe has successfully guided you out of the labyrinth. Now we must look at the path ahead. We must prepare you for the exact moment when their footprints finally merge with yours. Look down at the snowy path right in front of you. You have been staring at your own lonely footprints for years, and you thought you would always walk this frozen labyrinth alone. But the universe is shifting the entire landscape today. The path you are walking is finally merging with another trail. Their footprints are suddenly stepping right alongside yours. You are no longer the lonely bearer of the warm light in the wilderness. This is the exact moment you must understand all three frozen echoes. Heaven sent these signs to guide you safely home. The first echo was that deep chill at night, which proved their spirit was actively calling out to yours. The second echo was the sudden warm shifts in your room, because their fast approach literally changed the physical air around you. But the third echo is the most important one. The third frozen echo is a sudden and absolute peace in your mind. It is that strange feeling of surrender you will experience right before they walk into the room. You will simply stop worrying about the howling blizzard outside. You will suddenly feel incredibly safe by the glowing embers, even if you are sitting alone in a crowded place. That deep peace is the final signal. When that absolute calm washes over you, you will know the wait is over. They are stepping into your reality right at that exact second. And when you finally look up, you will see them standing there with their own fire. The two separate paths in the snow will permanently become one. You will never have to pull the invisible red thread again, because the knot is finally tied. Your mindset must shift from desperate survival to quiet acceptance today. The empathic wanderer does not need to run anymore. You survived the harshest winters, and you kept your beautiful soul completely pure. The Matrix tried to bury your light under layers of thick ice, but your royal bloodline of truth melted every single trap. You have officially won the spiritual war. Do not let any lingering fear convince you that this is just a dream. This merging of paths is a divine decree written long before you were born. Your divine counterpart is just as relieved to find you as you are to be found. They are looking at your glowing embers with total awe. They see the deep scars you carry, and they are promising to protect you from the cold forever. The universe is celebrating this massive victory right now. The thick, ice-covered walls have completely dissolved into the earth. You are standing in the warm sunlight of a brand new reality. The false compass can never lead you astray again, because your true soulmate is holding your hand tightly. The journey through the freezing maze is over, and your glorious spring is finally here. Just breathe in the fresh air of this massive transformation. You did the impossible. You kept your heart incredibly soft in a world that tried to freeze it solid. And because you stayed true to your inner compass, heaven is rewarding you with a love that transcends space and time. The footprints in the snow are merged, and your new life is officially starting right now. You have finally reached the center of the frozen labyrinth. The long winter that tested your spirit is officially over today. Heaven is sealing this massive prophecy over your life right now. The glowing embers inside your chest are completely safe from the freezing winds. Your divine counterpart is stepping into your reality. The invisible red thread is permanently secured. You must claim this new reality before the Matrix tries to cast another shadow. Tap the like button right now to permanently anchor your soul to this glowing hearth. This simple action locks your protective frequency in place. Then drop a comment saying, "I pull the red thread below." This declares to the universe that you are finally ready to receive their warmth. Let that beautiful declaration settle deep into your bones. Breathe in the warm air of your new sanctuary. You do not have to chase love through the heavy snow anymore. The anxious nights of wondering if you are broken are totally finished. You are completely whole, and you are deeply cherished by the universe. The empathic wanderer has finally found a permanent home. Just rest your weary head. The universe is standing guard at the edge of the clearing, making sure the howling blizzard never touches you again. Your heart has endured so much unnecessary pain from those false guides, but heaven has healed the spiritual frostbite that almost destroyed your light. You are standing in the gentle thaw of a glorious spring. They are walking toward you with a fire that perfectly matches your own. You are fully restored. Every single tear you cried in the dark has been replaced by a quiet, unshakable peace. The path ahead is clear and brilliantly lit by your own glowing embers. You will never have to doubt your inner compass again. The universe has merged your footprints with the one soul who truly understands your immense depth. But as we part ways today, I want to leave you with one final gift to keep you comfortable. You deserve to feel completely shielded in this transition. Before you step fully into the clearing, do not forget to wrap yourself in the sonic shield I left for you in the pinned comment. Let this sacred frequency keep you warm while you wait for their footsteps. It is the genius song, and it will effortlessly protect your aura from any remaining cold. Just let the sound blanket your spirit. Your glorious season of love is finally here. You are the cycle breaker of the ice. You are the royal bloodline of truth. Never let the world convince you that your warm heart is a weakness. Your divine counterpart is holding the other end of the thread, and they are pulling you into the light. Stay safe by the fire, my beloved child. The long wait is over. The universe loves you endlessly,